All right, what's up, people? It's your boy Big Mace, chilling out here in beautiful Panhandle. It's not quite a sunny day today. It's been a little bit of rain because of the hurricane stuff and all that crap that bypassed us and whatnot. But fair weather for the most part. Just wanted to get up on YouTube and make a video about leader bikes. A whole lot of people have comments about first-time riders should never get leader bikes, and you should start off on a 600 or all this other crazy stuff. And there's a few other people out there that's been on YouTube posting videos about it and whatnot. And I just wanted to kind of elaborate on some of the things that I've seen on YouTube about it. Myself, I'm a first-time rider. Got my license on the 17th of June. Today's the 27th, so I've been riding hard for 10 days. And I make no claims to be a professional rider. Still, I'm a novice, so I'm still taking it slow and taking it easy and whatnot with my bike and all that. But a lot of people say, like I said, you should never start off on a leader bike, and I gotta call bull on that, because again, first time rider, and my first bike is a 2017 Hayabusa. All right, the Hayabusa has been known to be like the bike of bikes and all that other good stuff. Top competitor of the ZX14, and a lot of people like to drag race them and all that other good stuff. And I've heard all kinds of comments about them. People saying that the bikes aren't good for street riding, and they don't take corners well, and a lot of other craziness and whatnot. And I just want to dispel some of those myths. So for one, again, being a first-time rider, this is just my opinion from what I've experienced so far. The bike corner is just fine. I mean, the bike will do pretty much what you want it to do. It's almost like no effort to lean this bike into a corner. Now, granted, being a novice, I haven't taken any corners at any high speeds. I think about the hardest I've ridden it is probably doing about 55, almost maybe 60, taking a corner. And again, had no problems with it. I do baby it a little bit, given the fact that, yes, a lot of power. I mean, you're talking about 1,340 cc's and whatnot, and the throttle's definitely got some kick on it. I mean, it doesn't take much of a twist to get it going. But my point being is that, it was no issue for me. Now, granted, I'm a big guy. I'm about 6'2", weigh about 270. So there weren't a lot of options for me in the sport bike category if I was going to ride one anyway. I kind of had to have something bigger. So the Boost is the one I went for. My wife got it for me as a birthday present and whatnot. And I'll be honest, I was a little nervous because a lot of people, like I said, they got a lot to say about leader bikes and why you shouldn't start out on one and all this other stuff. What I would say is that the biggest thing about starting off with a leader bike, or really any bike, honestly, is respecting the machine. So I mean, it don't matter if you're talking about a 750, 1,000, or 1340 like mine. You just gotta respect the machine. The machine is gonna do pretty much what you want it to do. If you want it to go, it's gonna go. There's no doubt about that. I get on the bike, I do my checks and everything before I ride out every time. I make sure I'm watching my AO and whatnot, and making sure that I'm all about checking other people, making sure I'm paying attention to what they're doing in case they're not paying attention to me and all that other good stuff. Haven't really sped on it. I've been maybe 10 miles over the speed limit on the highway, so we was talking about doing about 75 so far. Will I get a little faster? Sure I will. But at the same time, I understand this bike is not really a toy. It's all about me riding safe. And so me trying to get it up to the top speeds and all that other stuff, probably not the kind of stuff I'm going to be winding up doing. Wheelies and doing stunts, endos and all that. None of that stuff makes any sense. But what I would say out there to any of you guys or gals that's thinking about getting a sport bike, I would encourage you to not so much go with the status quo and try to get you a 600. You don't really need to do all that. I mean, if a 600 is what you want, and that's what you want to ride, that's what you're comfortable with, then by all means, you do you. But my suggestion is that if you think you might want to get something bigger, or if you're in that category of people who get told by other riders, well, hey, you should start off with a 6 and then trade up later on, who's got time for all that? Who's got time to be trading out bikes, all right, spending all this money? You know for a fact, if you buy a 6 or 750 or whatever and decide you want to trade up to a 1,000 or something like that later on, you're not going to get what you paid for it, right? And then you wind up either being upside down or you coming out of pocket. So why do all that when, if you know your intent, your end state is you want to be on a leader bike, then just go ahead and start there, all right? But just respect the machine. Take it easy. Understand again that it's not a toy. It's not for you to be out here in the streets doing wheelies and whatnot. If you got some aspirations of being some kind of stunt man, that's not the way to go, because these things will kill you. You know, there's no doubt about it. I mean, you can get on YouTube and some of the other channels, you see all kinds of crazy crashes and Hayabusas burning up, you know, coming into a corner hot, doing 100 miles an hour or whatever, and losing control. That stuff's easy to do, but it's equally easy to ride the bike safely. Now, a couple of things I want to point out for anybody that's not familiar, at least with my particular bike, the Hayabusa. All right, right here, you notice there's a mode switch. All right, that mode switch is operable whether the bike is in gear and in motion or stationary and neutral, doesn't matter. All right, once you start the bike up, you can put it in whatever mode you want. Now, to elaborate on the modes, you got A mode, B mode, and C mode. A mode is designed, really, it's just the way the bike normally would ride. So it's going to be a lot of power in that throttle. It's a powerful bike to start with, so it's not going to be an issue for you to go from 0 to 60 in like 2 seconds or something. Bike will do about 80 miles an hour in first gear anyway. Also, though, the thing you gotta understand is if you're not really good with throttle control, you know, having it in A mode is real easy to make the bike stand up on you. And what I mean by stand up, I'm talking about the front wheel coming up off the ground. You're doing a wheelie unintentionally, all right, which can wreak havoc, because a lot of times once you up in the air on it like that, it's gonna cause you to lean back, which is, for most of us, gonna probably cause us to twist the throttle even more, which definitely not good. All right, but A mode is full power. All right, B mode is a little bit less. I don't know what the percentage is or what all that, but B mode is a little bit less throttle response. So it doesn't mean that the bike still won't go as fast as it can. It just means the throttle won't respond as quickly. So you're a little bit less likely to make it jump in the lower gears and whatnot if you're in B mode. And then C mode, a lot of people say, well, why would you get a tire boost if you're gonna ride it in C mode? Well, C mode is for people like me, novices, just starting out. You know, if you're a little bit shaky on the throttle or you're nervous about your ability to control the throttle properly, then what you want to do is put the thing in C mode. The unfortunate thing about the bike is that it automatically defaults to A mode every time you turn it off. So if you got it in C mode and you ride somewhere, you park, you go do whatever you do, get back on the bike, if you forget to put it back in C mode, it's going to be in A mode. Now, the good news on all that is that even though it resets automatically or defaults back to A mode, it's not impossible to ride this bike in A mode as a novice. How do I know? Because multiple times since I've had this bike, I have forgotten to put it in A mode. First time, or C mode rather. First time that happened to me, I about lost my mind because I was riding and it started raining on me. And then I got a little bit nervous. It was my first time in the rain. And I looked down and I realized that it wasn't in C mode, because here on the dash, it actually displays when the bike started up what mode it's in. Matter of fact, I'll give you a quick demo of that so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So what you do, key in, turn the bike on. All right, my bad. So apparently you got to start it up. I'm not gonna do all that right now. This is my first video, so I'll cover that more in depth in a later video. I'll actually get on the bike and start it up and show you how to change the modes. But at any rate, you can look down and see what mode it's in. When you turn the bike off and it resets to the default setting, which is A mode, it won't actually display A mode on the heads-up display on the dash. It actually won't display anything, and the only way to make it display is to push the mode switch. You can push it up or down, either one, doesn't matter. And it'll automatically pop up with A to show you what mode it's in. It'll stay on once you push the button. To get it to go down to B mode, you just push down once, that'll bring the display up, then push it down again to go to B mode, and you'll see it change. It'll only display B mode. The same thing for C. Doesn't matter if you go up or down. If you go up from A mode, of course, it's gonna go straight to C mode. So the biggest thing with that stuff, like I said, the A mode is not impossible to drive the bike in. It's just you got to be a little bit more aware. And like I said, the first time that happened to me, got a little nervous and whatnot, and you know, I pushed through. All right, I found me a good spot, pulled over, parked underneath the tree for a little bit, turned the bike off, got my bearings. It lightened up on the rain. I started back up, made sure I put it in C mode, and rode back out. And that's the other thing. I would recommend C mode anyway if you're riding in the rain. Now, not that you should probably want to be on a Hayabusa in the rain, but if you, for whatever reason, do get caught up like that, I would recommend that you go ahead and put that thing in C mode to ride it in the rain. I've ridden in all three modes, A, B, and C. Right now I am most comfortable in C mode, only because, again, I'm a novice and I'm taking my time with it. And that's the biggest thing I really want to highlight with these leader bikes. You want a sport bike and you want to ride, you just got to be intelligent enough and mature enough to understand that it's not a toy. You can't just jump on this thing and start riding out and doing the stuff you see on TV. It's not as easy as it looks. But what you'll find is that, once you've been on the bike a few times, get a little bit more comfortable, get a feel for it, you start understanding, how the bike operates and how it feels when you're doing certain things, i.e. turning, whether it's low speed turns or high speed turns. You get a lot more comfortable. I think getting comfortable is a good thing, but it also can be a bad thing, because the downfall of a lot of people is they get so comfortable, they start doing stupid stuff, or start forgetting to do things that they normally should or would do in order to stay safe. So I think that's about it for this one. I'm probably about to wrap it up here. I'm about to go in this gym and throw some weight on the bar and do a little something before I ride home for the day. But I just want to go ahead and make that opportunity to make this video and just talk a little bit about it, because again, I am a true first-time rider. Straight up, been riding for 10 days, and I've just been taking it easy. It's not impossible to do what I'm doing, to go straight from not riding at all to jumping on a leader bike. It's just you got to be smart about it. You got to be cautious. And again, in my opinion, I made the best decision, because I ain't got to trade up nothing. I'm good. There's not a bike out there that I need or want beyond what I have here. Is the ZX14 faster? Yeah. Is the Kawasaki, what is the H2, that faster? Yeah, sure, it's faster, but I don't care about that. I mean, if 186 miles an hour ain't fast enough for you, you probably need to think about getting a car, something with like some turbine engines and jets on it and crazy stuff like that. But anyway, hey, I appreciate the time. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it was informative. I'll be making another one. Not quite at that point yet to start using the GoPro and all that while I'm riding, because again, I'm a novice and common sense dictates I probably don't need to be making videos while I'm riding. I hope you follow me on this channel. I hope you hit me up if you got questions or whatever. You can send any questions you have to my email if you want. Email is jae.mason, which is MASON 25@yahoo.com. Feel free to send me any emails, questions you have, specifics, any kind of videos specifically you want to see made. There's already a lot of products out there, so I'm not really trying to step on anybody else's toes. It's just I felt like my perspective as a brand new fresh rider is something that would probably be beneficial to other personnel who might be thinking about jumping on a sport bike. The next video I make, I'll cover a little bit more of some of the features of the Hayabusa, just because that's the bike I ride. I'm not trying to advocate that as the best bike or anything, or trying to get anybody to go out and purchase them. But I'm just a fan. I've always wanted the bike. I wanted one since I was 19 years old. I got one now, and I'm happy with it. So anyway, stay tuned. Check me out, and please send me some likes. All right, out of here.